Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is week 11. Welcome to the locker room. This is going to be a beautiful show today, I promise y'all. I'm your instigator / moderator, Don Maroc. To my right, Mr. Left Field.
We in the building, baby. Let's get ready.
Pyro the Fireman.
We here and we charged up.
I was about to say live from Bedford-Stuyvesant. I'm about to take it live. P.S. Dot.
Yeah, boy, live from Bedford-Stuyvesant.
I ain't going to take it no more. Adriel the Natural.
Yo. I want to give a special shout out to the GT Massive in the building.
Big up. And Kennington is back. What's up, Kennington?
Hey, what's going on? Live from the 706, Athens, Georgia. Go Dogs. And like Pyro said, we charged up.
No doubt. And also, we want to give a happy birthday shout out to our boy Slim. He's recovering from that Grey Goose or whatever. You know, enjoy it. We got it. Also, real quick, I just want to thank everybody for all the love they've been showing us. And we want to encourage everybody to go like our page on Facebook, add us on Instagram at the official locker room. And what's the Twitter joint?
The Locker Room NY.
There you go, Kennington. That's why I love it. All right, let's get started. I promise y'all this week we're going to go with the AFC East. I want to go to you, Pyro. I'm going to switch it up. I want to set it off. I need to know who you guys got. Give me the breakdown, and let's get it started.
Well, first of all, I want to say the AFC East. Let me just start this off by saying this. I think it's quite possible that the AFC East could have 3 out of the top 5 top defenses in the NFL in that one division. I think the Bills, Miami, and the Jets are going to have awesome defenses. I think the scores are going to be low-scoring games. I think a lot of their games are going to be grind-out scores. But my pick for winning the AFC East.
Drum roll, please.
Shouldn't be a surprise. New York Jets.
Okay.
And I think the Jets are going to compete. I
You're
think it's going to be
me.
a two-team race between the Jets and New England. I see the Jets looking at their schedule, winning 9 to 10 games. I'm looking at them and I'm comparing them a little bit to Arizona.
Wait, 9 to 10 games to win the division?
Games. No, to make the playoffs and possibly win a division because I think it's going to be a race.
It's going to take 10 games to win the division, you're saying?
No. Well,
you got Jets winning 10 games?
I got the Jets winning at least 10 games. At least 10 games.
Turn my sound effects up. Turn my sound effects up.
And you know what? Yeah, you're right. It may take 11 to 12. That's why I say I think they're going to compete with the Patriots. But looking at them, I think it's going to be a dogfight, the whole division. Back to my Jets. Arizona last year, Ty Bowles was the defensive coordinator. He was great. They won on all defense. All defense. I think this Jets team has a better offense than that Arizona team did. I think the third year is the year for quarterbacks. Geno Smith is either going to show it or he's not. And he has no ties to Ty Bowles. So he's going to recognize that in preseason. And if we got to go with the other guy, Ryan, until even the rookie who they got, Petty, is ready, who I think could be a decent quarterback in the NFL. The upgrades on offense, Brandon Marshall to go along with Eric Decker, to go along with the rookie, Devin Smith, who they got, to go along with Jeremy Curley. The running backs that they got, Stephen Ridley, Chris Ivory, Palau.
There's a lot of fumbles right there.
I mean, all these Zach Stacy, you know what I mean? They got some dudes over there.
Zach Stacy, I forgot about him.
They got some guys. Their defense is ridiculous. Sheldon Richardson, Wilkinson, the rookie they got, Harrison. Come on, man. Nobody's messing with that defensive line at all. Tom Brady gonna be running against Ryan Tannehill. He ain't even gonna get to throw the ball with his game managing self. You know, so
all that means they're gonna lose like 7-0.
So the game's gonna be low.
They're gonna lose all their games 9-3.
Gino's gonna be there, and my Jets is winning at least 10 games.
Well, left field, just go ahead right in and jump in.
I'm just perplexed.
Tell them what's real.
Why anybody is gonna bet against the New England Patriots, the Super Bowl champions?
Say it again.
New England Patriots, the Super Bowl
To inflate
champions.
or not to inflate? That is the question.
Shots fired.
So you saying?
Don't
so,
let him,
so what are you saying?
don't let him get off your game.
Anyway.
He's trying to get you off your game. Don't let him.
Like,
Don't
I
let him
said,
rally.
why are you gonna bet against New England? The last 14 years, they have won the division 12 times. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but the Bulls are going to be the right weight this year, like to start the season.
So you're saying all the previous championships, they was using deflated balls?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm a Jets fan.
Okay, all right. I respect that. So right now, we already know I'm going with New England. But you ain't even talk about New England. First of all, we have a proven pedigree, the best NFL head coach, hands down. Anybody disagree with that?
Well,
No.
I think he
He
made
needs
one
some
too
players,
many moves,
though.
though. This year here, he's going to really have to show, like, you hate to go against the champions, but they dismantled that whole team.
I mean, I'm gonna give you one thing. The defense is a little, the cornerback situation, but
It's
listen,
horrible.
But at the end of the day, have you ever thought about New England defense? When you think about New England, have you ever thought about their defense? What's the first thing that
Well,
stands out when you think about New England?
Is Tom Brady in that offense?
Exactly. And so right now, we all know that he's slated to miss 4 games. But personally, I think they're gonna, put that to 2 games.
Yeah, I think
and,
so,
and
too.
maybe even eradicate it altogether, and he might just get a clean slate and be able to start off maybe a fine or something like that.
But you mentioned a great point about the schedule.
Yes.
I think Jacksonville is in there.
Yeah, for the 4 games, Jacksonville, they're beating them with anybody on the field. They got the Bills, and come on, the Bills beating New England. I don't care who's on the field.
I'm going to tell you what that schedule is.
All right.
Game 1, the first 4
Yeah,
games.
first 4.
They have the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Pittsburgh supposed to be a very good team this year. Then they go at Buffalo in week 2. That Rex Ryan has always given the New England Patriots a tough time. You're going to be at Buffalo
With that
with that
quarterback
raucous
carousel,
crowd.
what they doing over there? Who's
I
starting?
mean, that defense neutralizes the great Tom Brady.
Like I said, 14-7.
I'll give you Jacksonville in week 3, but then after the bye at Dallas. Dallas supposed to be a contender in the NFC next year. They're going to have a pretty formidable team, and they're going to be at Jerry World. So
basically, say they could go 2-2 in that schedule, right?
I see 3-1. I see 1-3.
1
My
and 3.
bad. My bad. 1 and 3, especially with no Tom Brady. Definitely 1 and 3.
Kennington, I think you got the Patriots too, right?
I got the Patriots. I want to read off a list of the last 8 or so Super Bowl champions. I promise to make it a point here. You got the Colts, Giants, Steelers, Saints, Packers, Giants again, Ravens, Seahawks, Patriots. It's a quarterback and coach-driven league. No matter what, it's a quarterback and coach-driven league. So let's look at the AFC East. The Dolphins, you got Tannehill and Philbin. And the Bills got Rex Ryan and whoever the quarterback is going to be. And then the Jets, Todd Bowles and Geno Smith. And then the Patriots, you got Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. It's an easy decision.
It's a no-brainer. Who putting your money on?
The Patriots.
Listen.
It's an easy decision.
Listen, here's the thing about the Patriots. They've been taking advantage of a very, very talentless AFC East to where they could just walk on the field and pretty much win that division with their eyes closed. This season, with the improvements that each team has made on defense, just like Pyro said, 3 top defenses could be top 5 in that division alone, and none of them include the Patriots. My pick to win the AFC East is the Miami Dolphins. If you want to see the additions the Dolphins make, number 1, Ndamukong Suh, the most dominant, next to J.J. Watt, the most disruptive defensive lineman in the game. Now, they already have Cameron Wake. Now you have Ndamukong Suh and Cameron Wake on the same line. They added former Raven C.J. Mosley, another very good player on the defensive line. But my biggest reason for picking the Miami Dolphins, just like you said, quarterback and head coach-driven league. If you paid attention, last year, Ryan Tannehill made a huge step in his career. All of a sudden, he started playing real well. There was a little stretch, I think a 6-game stretch, where he was putting up big-time numbers for that team. Not only was he throwing the ball with accuracy, making good decisions, he was also running the football a lot more than he was trying to in his first 2 years in the league. Just a quick look at it. Last year, 66.4 completion percentage, 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 4,045 yards with a 92.8 passer rating. I was very impressed with Ryan Tannehill last year. Now, he has some new weapons to throw to. Greg Jennings, veteran. He's been a superstar in this league. He can show these guys the ropes. And he's a former champion. Now you add Kenny Stills, that deep threat coming from the New Orleans Saints. And at tight end, Jordan Cameron, one of the most athletic tight ends, another former basketball player in the league. You still have Devontae Parker. He's the first-round pick. He looks like he's going to be good. And Jarvis Landry, who had 84 receptions last year. All in all, I think the Miami Dolphins will win the division, hugely in part because Tom Brady, all this Deflategate stuff, he might miss 4 games. I think that's going to have a huge impact on the New England Patriots, and the fact that there's no Reeves, there's no Browner, there's no Vince Wilfork on that defense.
Calm down. What was the last time when the Patriots had the little spy gate? 2008?
Yeah.
What did they do the year after? They went 16-0. Went to the Super Bowl. So Tom Brady is going to
How many games did Tom Brady miss that year?
He didn't miss none.
Exactly.
So what? But even if he misses 4 games, like I said, potentially going to go 2-2, and he has another 12 games to go. You have Tom Brady at the helm for 12 games of the season.
My thing is more of what Miami will do than what
Miami potentially can do.
I think they will do.
What Patriots have done.
I think
that defense is going to be terrible.
I think
it's going to be a horrible defense.
It doesn't matter how many times has the Patriots put an excellent
defense. But they
defense
haven't
on
had this
the
competition in the division. They've never had this kind of competition in this division. When you want to talk about
now
what Pyro talked about.
We want to talk about defense. Who had the best defense last year for the NFL?
The Seattle Seahawks.
Who had the second best defense for the NFL last year?
I would probably give it to the Patriots.
No, I don't think so.
Who had the second best defense?
I think Detroit was in there in the top 3.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
All right. Oh, yeah, they were pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
And what did they do?
They ain't do anything.
All right, then. So it's not all about defense driven. They got to put points on the board.
And I just said the emergence of Ryan Tannehill, I believe that Ryan Tannehill will make a significant impact.
Well, you keep sitting over there believing, and I have proven facts that the Patriots going to get it done.
Listen, who are they going to stop? Who are they going to stop? Last year, if you remember, when they faced the Miami Dolphins, this is the championship run. That first game, Miami ran the ball down their throats. They punked them. Okay, Lamar Miller at running back. He had a great season last year. He's coming back. Trust me, they have all the components. When you look at the offensive line, the wide receiver weapons, now this Jordan Cameron with a Ryan Tannehill. Watch out for that team, because guess what? New England ain't stopping nobody from scoring. Tom Brady's going to have to average like 50 points a game every game.
The one thing I definitely agree in, New England always had their run of the mill in that division. They always came in there and you automatically could peg them for like 6 to 8 wins just from that division alone. There's a difference this year. These teams stepped up. New England is going to have to play a whole different game. It's going to take a lot of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady to win this and carry this.
They never had any competition before. If you really looked at it, there weren't too many complete teams.
Experience takes you a long way.
What I disagree with, out of the 3 new additions to Miami's offense, Jordan Cameron has the chance to make the biggest impact if he could stay on the field. Yeah. Well, he suffered 3 concussions last year, 1 a year before. So if he could stay on the field, then that's good. Kenny Stills, and from New Orleans, and Greg Jennings, they're not getting the pass. Okay, let me tell you something. That dude Ryan Tannehill, watching him last year, he's a little better version than Alex Smith in terms of getting that ball down the field. He cannot. Mike Wallace be down the field, wide open, 30, 40 yards out. Give me the ball.
Mike Wallace had a strong season last year.
On dink and dunks. He cannot. About. He said it himself. He cannot throw the long pass accurately, so they stopped doing it. They don't even do it. So, when he runs those routes, Greg Jennings is a long ball threat. So is the Stills cat, if I'm saying his name right. Okay, he's a deep ball threat, but so I don't think those guys are going to have as much of an impact, and I think it comes down to the defense, and those are some good names.
Don't forget Brent Grimes at cornerback. That defensive backfield is going to be great. Miami has the most complete. Okay, no.
Do you want me to mention the Jets cornerbacks? Do you want to start?
I said the Jets also. The Jets have a complete defense.
Retreat.
But guess what? I'm taking Ryan Tannehill over Geno Smith any day of the week.
Maybe right now, but I also want to say this.
Last point.
The 3rd season of the NFL for a quarterback is like Eli Manning, like a lot of guys, is where you see they make or break. Geno Smith ended the season last year. The last 3 games, he played very well. The last game of the season, he in some sort of top 3 history for quarterback rating. He threw for 358
The
yards.
last 3
3
most
touchdowns.
meaningless games
Maybe,
of the season.
but all I'm saying is, what that shows me is that Geno Smith has the tools. He lets all these other stuff distract him. So what I'm hoping is this year, he got it together. He got this media stuff. He's just going to concentrate, come on the field and play. And if he does that, that division is in trouble.
One more thing to consider. Just because you win the free agency Super Bowl doesn't mean you're going to win the actual Super Bowl. I know this all too well as an Eagles fan. I remember when the Eagles got Nnamdi Asomugha, and I remember when the Eagles got Rogers Cromartie. They filled the whole team with all-stars, and the whole thing blew up. This is the same system, the Patriots, that went 11-5 with Matt Castle the whole season. It's a system. The sum is greater than its individual parts.
There
so
you
if you
go.
take out some stars and you just plug in Chug, I guarantee the Patriots going to be just fine.
That defense is whack.
Guaranteed.
P.S. You asked on that?
Yeah, I wanted to sit this conversation out because I got 2 words: New England Patriots. It's just like he said, it's free agency Super Bowl. It ain't gonna amount to nothing because at the end of the day, you need a quarterback to score that ball, to help you score that ball.
Well, I actually
there it
have the Patriots too. So that's what, 4-2.
Yeah, pretty
All
much.
right.
Guess what? You don't win divisions in the locker room sports show either.
Shots fired at his own damn teammate. A Kobe fan for you. Anyway, listen. Oh, speaking of with the theme, let's stick with the theme of quarterbacks. Now, this is a little edgy, but some certain quarterbacks don't get the same due as other quarterbacks. The typical scramble quarterbacks, the athletic quarterbacks. People like to see the Tom Brady, Joe Montana quarterbacks. P.S. What's your take on that?
My take on it is, there's always been a stigma with certain positions in sports.
Right.
Quarterback being one of the main positions. It used to be the stigma in basketball, point guard, because certain positions require high IQ.
Right.
For whatever reason, people put scramble, the code word for scramble is the black quarterback,
Okay.
in a certain box where this quarterback can't be effective, whatever.
Right.
If I do recall, Fran Tarkenton was an athletic quarterback, and he was very successful at what he did. Sometimes you got to give a quarterback a chance to let his style of play work, and sometimes it's not going to happen in a season or 2. It takes time. It's like I feel a lot of teams don't have the patience for whatever reason to let these quarterbacks grow, and not only that, give him the right weapons. Just because he's athletic doesn't mean he needs to run. We have to run options. No, let him just play, the way he plays within your system. You know what I mean? So I think there needs to be more patience when it comes to athletic quarterbacks, and let that style, let that style be flourished throughout the NFL.
Natural. What's your take on it?
Well, here's the thing. This question was really brought out by the fact that the Ohio State quarterback, Braxton Miller, he's a 2-time Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year.
Right.
If anybody's ever seen this guy play, he's a monster. Okay? Unfortunately for him, last year, for the whole season, he was hurt. He had a shoulder injury that kept him out for the entire season. Ohio State ended up winning the national championship behind J.T. Barrett and Cardale Jones. But the thing is, now we're hearing that he came back for his senior season, and there's supposed to be a quarterback position battle between those 3 guys. Now we're hearing that for whatever reason, Braxton Miller is being talked into changing positions to wide receiver. I'm like, if he was a white quarterback, this wouldn't even be an option. 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year. He can do it all. He could throw the ball. He could throw the ball deep, explosive. And when you talk about running, this dude is unstoppable. One of the fastest quarterbacks, one of the fastest NFL football players I've ever seen in my life. 6'5", 250. He's just built like a monster. I'm a huge fan of Braxton Miller, and to hear this is very, very disconcerting. Now, in the NFL, 2 of my most favorite quarterbacks, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, they too have the same skill set.
You was a Vince Young fan too, right?
I was a Vince Young fan. The thing is, they try to downplay your running ability as if it doesn't affect these games. It does affect these games. It's just another added dimension that defensive coordinators have to worry about, okay? This dude, Braxton Miller, is a monster. I don't like the fact that he was even talked into thinking about that, because guess what? I think he could be a superstar in the NFL. Even if he has to sit out the whole season and be the backup, somebody will draft Braxton Miller, okay?
Kennington.
From what PS was saying about molding the quarterbacks, I think the most recent example that I could think of is Colin Kaepernick. The read option.
I was about to get him to say Kaepernick, but I was like, I'm gonna let it go off the hook. Yeah, you go.
Kaepernick in the read option is what got the 49ers to the Super Bowl when he first started. When he first got the starting job. Then they came back and were like, okay, we're going to turn you, and we're going to try to turn you into to a pocket pass so the whole thing blew up. You have to let these quarterbacks do what they do best and stop trying to let the league and the media and outside hype dictate how you should run your organization.
Stupid. I can't. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, man.
When it comes to Braxton Miller, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit and just say that if you compare J.T. Barrett to Cardale Jones to Braxton Miller, as far as like quarterbacking potential and just like getting the most out of your players, that's your job as a head coach of a college football team, to get the most out of your players. Putting Braxton Miller on the field at a different position and having a JT Barrett or a Cardale Jones at quarterback makes Ohio State that much better. What point is it of having Cardale Jones and JT Barrett at quarterback and you let Braxton Miller be your third string and you let arguably the most versatile player in college football just rot on the bench? If you put Braxton Miller at running back or receiver, you could do a wildcat with Braxton Miller and put him all over the field. That way you can translate Braxton Miller more to the league, because there have been questions by teams about
they're
Braxton
not going to
Miller.
want to draft him as a quarterback. That's the whole thing. It's like once you allow them to tell you, okay, change positions, they're not going to take you seriously as a quarterback. That's why I see you're looking at it in terms of the best thing for Ohio State. I'm looking at it in terms of the best thing for Braxton Miller. Now, Florida State wanted him bad to be the replacement for James Winston. He decided not to go to Florida State. I don't know, maybe Urban Meyer told him you could compete for the job and you'll probably win the job. Because in reality, Braxton Miller, I think he's a better overall quarterback than both of them.
Cannot vouch at all. What?
Yes.
Did you look at the numbers last year? JT Barrett arguably had the same exact season that Marcus Mariota had.
Okay.
And Marcus Mariota won the Heisman.
Two-time
JT
Big Ten.
As a freshman.
Did he win the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year?
JT Barrett?
Yes.
Did he?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so. Braxton Miller, two-time Offensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten, one of the biggest conferences in college football. He's a monster. He does and my whole thing is, it goes along with the whole athletic thing. Now, JT Barrett is a better pocket passer than Braxton Miller, but he doesn't have the athleticism that Braxton Miller has. And I put a value on being able to run the football in terms of something defensive coordinators, they have to think about that also. It gives defensive coordinators fits. And I just feel that he can just hurt you in so many different ways. He's so dynamic. I just feel like it's just he's going to do himself a disservice by even letting people approach him about changing to a wide receiver.
Yo, listen, yesterday, I don't know if you guys remember, we had a little debate, and it got a little crazy. We was talking about what baseball players we would take in a prime. So we want to bring it to the locker room, and we're going to see where this goes. I'm going to see if I can get somebody to make a bet, and we start bringing up some stats. All right, so we have Ken Griffey, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and A-Rod. I was going
I'm going to say A-Royd. I heard you.
Left field, you up.
Right now,
Who you got?
I'm rolling with Bryce Harper.
Wow.
I know a lot of people like, wow, I guess that list is it's a real competitive list. So you really can't go wrong with any one of those players that you choose. But with Bryce Harper right now, and let's just get this straight. You said in their prime. So
Right.
two people on those lists, they're not even in their prime yet. So we got Mike Trout, who's been outstanding for his first 4 seasons of the year, of his career. And we had Bryce Harper. But if you remember, Bryce Harper came into the league with, he was like the 5'2" guy. Like, it was nobody who came in the league with so much, prospect, so much, fight. So
Right.
he's been hurt the last couple of seasons, but as
This is the
everybody knows,
only good season he's ever had.
but no. His rookie season, he won the Rookie of the Year. So obviously he had a good season for his rookie year to win that, right? Okay. But okay. So
He was also voted most overrated player by his peers, fellow baseball players.
But the last 2 years, he hasn't played full seasons. He played 100 games in 118 games, so he's been hurt. So right now, he's on pace to play about 140 games, and he's having an outstanding season. So right now, you're seeing his potential, and it's only going to grow even further that you can't even imagine. Because he got like 27 home runs. He's batting like 330. The dude, and he plays. The reason why I really like him because he plays with that heart, that type of swag. And you can't teach that. And I'm telling you, as you can see, his progression from now is just gonna get higher and higher and higher. And right now, he's really coming into his own. Because one thing that you look at what he's doing right now, he's hitting the ball to all parts of the field. He has such a command of the strike zone, and his strikeouts are going down. And you get to see him develop into the player that they expect him to be. So the other players, you can't, like I said, you can't go wrong with Ken Griffey, A-Rod, Mike Trout. But right now, if you're going to take his potential that's going to go forward, Bryce Harper right there is my pick.
Bryce Harper for one. Not the natural.
Real quick, before we move on to the next player, moderator, that's not fair to bring up that list, man. That list is so unfair because that list is voted for by the players, and when the Yankees was winning their championship, the top 3 to 4 players on that list was always Derek Jeter, A-Rod, and 2 other Yankees. So they don't like Bryce Harper right now because of his brashness, because of the way he plays.
Exactly.
Because he's not one of those baseball players that, trots around. He's excited about the game, and he makes people want to watch it. So I just wanted to, that list,
I like that.
little
I like
disclaimer
that.
on that list.
But no. Stay, go.
No, who got the next?
Who you got?
PS. I'm going King Griffey Jr. Now, disclaimer: everybody on that list is a future Hall of Famer. That's without a doubt. But King Griffey Jr. had a injury career all through the middle and end part of his career.
Right.
He still hit 630 home runs. He's still number 6 on the all-time list. He still won an MVP in this league. He still made the All-Century team. He played center field. And unlike other people on this list, his defense was just as good as his offense. He has 10 gold gloves. He's second all-time in outfield. He's behind dudes like Willie Mays. When he was in his prime, that's why he made the All-Century team, because people looked at him like a Willie Mays, a Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio. And Joe DiMaggio didn't play against black players his whole career. You know what I'm saying?
Point.
And unlike other people we might bring up, his name is never associated with no kind of steroids.
Ladies and gentlemen, shouting at my boy
With
A-Rod.
no kind of steroids. If he would have, now you got to remember when they voted that All-Century team, other dudes was in this league that didn't make that team. Barry Bonds was in this league. If this dude wouldn't have got hurt, he would have been regarded as one of, if not the best baseball player of all time. He was that good. I do not think nobody else on this list is in his category as an all-around baseball player. Just like Left Field said, the 5'2" type guy who can do everything. The dude did everything. And he has star power. He was running up on walls on Sports Center. He had sneakers, not sneakers that was Jordan brand. He had sneakers, Griffey's. This dude was a star. And I think now with these new dudes, they trying to make them stars. That's why there's so much hype on him. You're trying to make them stars. But no, he was a star. And he had, I'm going to end this off on this point. It might have nothing to do with it, but he had probably the best swing I've ever seen in baseball.
Yeah, very pretty.
Ever.
Very, very pretty.
Ever.
Undeniable.
Right. Kennington. You all right? You over there?
I'm going Trout here.
Okay.
I'm just going to read off a couple things. Mind you, Trout's only 23 years old. Four-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, youngest player to reach the 30-30 club, youngest player ever with 100 home runs and 100 stolen bases, youngest player to hit for the cycle, only player with back-to-back All-Star Game MVPs. It's Mike Trout's league. He's only 23. He's not even in his prime. And look at this resume. Guys will play their whole careers and won't have a resume like this.
The natural.
That's the scary part.
What's Trout's stats this season? What is he doing this season?
Mike Trout is batting 307 with 29 home runs and 59 RBIs.
Thank you. What's Bryce Harper's stats this season?
I knew a setup was
What's Bryce Harper's stats this season?
He got 27 home runs. He batting 323.
How old is Bryce Harper?
He's about 22, 23.
How old is Mike Trout?
23.
How old is Alex Rodriguez right now?
Oh, what a setup.
40 years old.
What a setup.
40. You want to know what A-Rod's numbers are right now?
Talk to him.
Shout out to A-Rod. 3 home runs last night, including the go-ahead joint in the 9th inning to help the Yankees pull out a victory, who are having a very impressive run this season. Okay. A-Rod is hitting .277 with 23 home runs, 58 RBIs, 55 runs scored, 89 hits, a .375 on-base percentage right now in 2015 at 40 years old. Now, we go to Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, come on.
When A-Rod came to the Seattle Mariners, he was like a little 18-year-old kid guess what? He became a star immediately with a Ken Griffey Jr. on his team. Now, at that time, Ken Griffey was a monster. A-Rod hit for a better average. He was comparable in terms of like all-around stats, home runs, RBIs. He wasn't as great as Ken Griffey, but then again, at that time, Ken Griffey was well into his prime. A-Rod was doing this as an 18-year-old. Now, mind you, 3 MVPs, a World Series championship. His career stats right now, A-Rod has 677 home runs. 677. He's about to get to 700. 2,027 RBIs, 3,028 hits. His career batting average is 299. You might as well say that's a 300 career batting average. All well above a Ken Griffey Jr. Now, of course, the pink elephant in the room. Shout out to my man A-Rod on that one. We got the steroid situation. But guess what? I don't give a damn about no daggone steroids, man. Baseball is hand-eye coordination, okay? To me, Barry Bonds, the greatest hitter I have ever seen in my life. For whatever reason, we all know the steroids, they knock him down a peg. I don't give a damn. A-Rod, to me, he's looking like he can eclipse Barry Bonds' record. Some of Barry Bonds' records.
Cheating don't matter, is what you're saying.
I'm saying it didn't give him that much of an advantage. Now look what he's doing at 40 with no steroids. I'm pretty sure he's not on. He got suspended a whole year without steroids.
And if
look at the talent.
And if he didn't have steroids, maybe he would have got hurt early in his career and he wouldn't still be playing. There's a lot of ways you can look at that.
Maybe not. All I know is what he's doing now. He's comparable to a Bryce Harper and a Mike Trout that these guys were just going crazy over just now.
My man got 630 home runs with injuries all throughout his career, 10 gold gloves, all-century team. All-century.
Listen, I understand Ken Griffey Jr. is a beast. I just think A-Rod is better, man. The proof is in the pudding. Look what this guy is doing now. He's just, as far as a great all-around baseball player, now let's talk about defense. He was a shortstop. The most important position on the field. Center field is good. That's an important position. But as a shortstop, that's the most important position on the field. And he was out there doing his thing.
All right, we gotta break it up. We gotta break it up. I try to get the bell sound effect, which would have been so perfect to the segue. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to bring in one of the greatest welterweight boxers of all time, gold Olympic medalist, Mark Breland. Let's welcome Mark Breland to the locker room. What's going on, man?
Welcome to the locker room, man.
Welcome to the locker room. First of all, I just want to thank you for coming out. Shout out to my man Kenny for making this happen as well. Mark, where do I start, man? Where do I start, man? You probably one of the. Can I tell you a story how I first heard your name? It's crazy. This is when you know you're a star. 3rd grade. I'm not gonna give away my age too much. 3rd grade is a kid named Corey Williams, and it was another guy named Nate. They got into a fight because Corey said, "Yo, that's my cousin." The other guys don't know that's my cousin. So me being the instigator I am, I'm like, "Yo, y'all cousins, come on, let's talk about it." They end up fighting. You got a cousin named Corey?
I don't even know.
I knew they was lying. But Mark, what's going on, man? What you been up to, man?
No, not too much, man. Just training, just trying to, get some more fighters.
You got a bad boy in that Wilder dude. You got a bad boy.
Yeah, he's doing good. I started with him back in 2008 after the Olympics, and he's been doing good since then.
P.S. You got a question for me? I got a few, so I'm gonna try to, let y'all go first.
Yeah, it was good. First of all, welcome to the locker room. Thanks for coming. My question is, I grew up watching boxing because of my father. My father was real into boxing. And I first heard of you when my father used to go to the Bed-Stuy gym on Marcus Garvey. And he used to always tell me about Mark Breland. We used to have a lot of good welterweights. You came we had Sugar Ray and all them. And then you came later in the later 80s. Who did you grow up watching as a boxing fan while you was training? Who was you looking up to?
Good question.
Guys like Roberto Benitez, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Larry Holmes, guys like that. I liked a lot of the smaller fighters who bobbed and weaved and was real slick, like Benitez. Then I like Tommy Hearns, guys that can punch. And my thing was just trying to knock somebody out.
Byron, you got a question for me?
Yeah, I got 3 quick little simple questions. One, you you sparred with Tommy Hearns, right? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah, I was 17.
And so like he gave you a lot. Did he? How was he like as you know as in terms of giving you knowledge about the game and telling you about the the whole what to expect out of your career and things like that? How helpful was he?
Very helpful. I mean, we sparred. I was 17 when we sparred in Vegas, and after the three sessions, well, we sparred one day. Then the next day we sparred. On the third day, he said, "I got you." I'm like, "All right." So we were sparring, and I did a move, and he caught me, and I just turned around like, "Okay, you got me." He was trying to hit me with the right hand the whole time, and I just kept slipping the right hand. And then he faked the right hand and threw it again. Then I'm like, ah. But just watching guys like that, and just training hard, just wanting to fight.
Was Emmanuel Stewart on hand for that?
Yeah, he was there.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Everybody, a lot of people would say, he wasn't trying to hit you. I'm like,
I got a question. You have 35 victories in your career, right?
right.
Is there an all-time great fighter during your era that you feel that you never got a chance to face, but that you felt you had a great chance of beating him to take your career to another
Is
level?
he reading my notes? That was my question. Go ahead, though.
I would have liked to fight Sugar Ray Leonard.
You think you would have beat him?
Yeah. I mean, I would have, because Tommy Hearns, and watching him with Tommy Hearns, Tommy, had a good jab and really outboxed him in the second fight. The first fight, Tommy was winning, but Ray just had more, stamina in that fight. But I think it would have been a good fight.
Oh, okay.
Left Phil, what you got for him?
All right, I just want the listeners to know that we have a bad man sitting in the locker room with us today. So I just want people to know that for your amateur career, you only had one loss. Mm-hmm. How you lost that fight? That's my question.
Well, I thought I won.
Yeah.
I was fighting he was a champion the year before that, so it was like he was the more well-known guy at the time. Mm-hmm. And I thought I beat him.
Politics.
Yeah.
You already beat him? Okay.
But I fought him when I turned pro, and I stopped him.
You stopped. All right.
What's his name? What's this guy's name?
Darryl Anthony from St. Louis.
Well, let me ask you a question. You got guys like Adrian Broner, world of potential. Do fighters like that get under your skin a little bit? Like they don't know when to turn it off. Like, would you want to take on train a fighter like that?
No.
I figured that. Why? For the obvious reasons.
To me, it'd be embarrassing. I mean, I couldn't answer questions. Well, what do you think it is? And I'm like,
Yeah, because you gotta clean up a lot of his mess, and it's, man. So listen, this guy really took my question. Hey, that was a good one.
Well, what? Okay, if you were in Adrian Broner's corner, what advice would you give to him? How would you help him out, being the world-class trainer that you are right now?
Just fight your fight. Don't try to fight like Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do you think about the welterweight division right now? That you ruled at one point.
Kind of slow. I mean, you got a lot of I can't say slow. You got a lot of fighters that are coming up pretty good. And when you got Adrian Broner,
he's really 140 though.
Yeah,
he's really that's more like Keith Thurman.
Right.
How you feel about Keith Thurman?
Big puncher. I worked with him a little while back in the days.
Is it all hype or is it real?
No, he can punch. But the only thing with him is he's looking just to knock you out, and when you got a guy who's just trying to knock you out, that's when you get hit.
Collazo hit him with a big time body shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your resume is strong. You have a long resume. You're New York Golden Gloves champ. Mm-hmm. You won the World Championship gold medal. You won the Olympic gold medal. You won the welterweight championship. I think you had 19 or 20 knockouts when you were doing Golden Gloves. Something like that, right?
24 fights and 23 knockouts.
And 23 knockouts. Yeah. So impressive. So my question to you is, which one of those, I don't even know if you can answer this, which one of these gave you the greatest feel of accomplishment? Was it the gold medal? Was it winning the championship? Like, which one of those you were like, you know, the greatest feeling ever. Like, it was just unbelievable. Like,
I tell you, my first Golden Gloves in 1980, because a friend of my parents back in 1971 took me to go see Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in Madison Square Garden. And I was way at the top, but just the crowd screaming. I'm like, wow. And all I wanted to do was fight in Madison Square Garden.
okay.
You know, and all the way I won the Junior Olympics and all of that stuff. And so then when I got to the Golden Gloves, I trained so hard I went down to 139. And so I won my first year at 139, and the next 4 years at 147.
Wow. Were you trained at 139? Were you?
No.
Wow. Listen, I'm going to say we have something in common. We picked the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight down to a T. I read an interview. I mean, when I say you predicted it down to a T, how Floyd would run away after run away late. Were you satisfied as a boxing fan with that fight?
No.
Why not?
I mean, Floyd's a good fighter, don't get me wrong, but he don't take chances. You know.
Emmanuel Stewart always said that. That's the difference between him and Sugar Ray and Hearns. And
right, he don't take chances. And, you know, then with what Pacquiao did, I didn't like that either. I mean, because you're going to fight, you're going to tear your rotor cuff, and now you're going to come into the fight. Come on, now, you beat everybody.
And that's a cardinal rule. After the fight, you don't how do you feel about that?
No, my thing is, okay, don't say nothing.
Right.
Just don't say nothing. You know, then you're going to say, well, my arm was this way. Well, then you shouldn't have went in there.
So you wanted Floyd to take the chance and maybe get him out of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you say you're as bad as you think you say you are, get him out.
Well, you just kind of walked me into a question. he goes by the way of the name of TBE, the best ever. Where is he at is he on your top 10 list? Is he on your top 5 list?
I'll say 5.
Whoa, you got him 5? Yeah. Who's the 4 you got before him? Yeah, we're going to put you on the spot, yeah.
Sit back and think about that one for a second.
Turn that volume up. I get some time.
No Muhammad Ali in there, Joe Louis.
Oh, no, Ali's my favorite.
You got it? You got it? All right, let's go.
Well, Ali's my favorite, and Sugar Ray Robinson. Tommy Hearns.
Ooh. Interesting.
Larry Holmes.
Well, that's 4.
That's 4. There it is. There it is.
That's the 4 right there.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, quick question. How do you feel about now they putting boxing back on regular TV? When I first saw it a couple of months ago, like I was real excited because that's how I grew up watching boxing. Because in my opinion, I feel we paying for a lot of fights that we shouldn't even pay for. How do you feel about that?
Oh, no, I think that's great because, I mean, I was more well known as an amateur coming up than some pros today. And that's because of ABC, being on ABC all my life, pretty much. And like now, you don't even know who the fighters are. You know, everybody keep asking me, Mark, well, who's Deontay fighting next? He's fighting this guy. I'm like, who's that guy? I don't know who's who.
Tarver just called him out, too. Antonio Tarver just called. Did you hear about that?
No.
He said he wanted a piece of him. Now, do you think fighters really want to fight these guys, or they're taking the check?
Well, right now, in the heavyweight division is a big check. You know, but Deontay can punch.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that's a hell of a check when you get,
Some checks ain't worth it.
Some checks ain't worth it.
Pyro, you got something?
Well, Pierre's brought up television, ABC. I think boxing on free television will do a lot for the sport. But also, also to your resume, you have some TV credits to your resume as well, right?
Oh yeah.
You want to run
Miami
down
Vice.
some of the movies and TV shows you've been on, man?
I saw that Miami Vice episode.
Yeah, I did a Miami Vice. Back in the days, I did a movie, Lords of Discipline.
Yeah, I remember.
And He Got Game, Summer of Sam.
Okay.
And
Chris Rock show.
Chris Rock show.
Undercover man. You know.
Byron's
We
just
know the
showing off.
resume.
He's just showing off at this point. Natural, you got something?
Well, I wanted to talk about something, just to go back to the whole Mayweather thing. Before his fight with Pacquiao, he made a certain statement saying that can't nobody convince me that Muhammad Ali was better than me. And
Don't look at me like that, P.S.
And PS Dot and our moderator Dre, they were going back and forth in terms of like, did he have a point in his argument? Dre, what was the specifics about what he was saying in his argument for himself versus Muhammad Ali?
Well, his point was, defensively, he was better. He didn't take a lot of punishment. The money and the he generated for the sport, and of course his record. Now, it's a tough argument, for him. But what I'm saying is, I don't think Ali is better, but I do think Floyd has an argument. Like, how can you tell a person that's made more money than anybody, hasn't lost, is arguably one of the greatest defensive fighters besides maybe Willie Pep or Pernell Whitaker of all time? Like, how can you not tell him? How can you tell that man somebody's better than him? That's the way I look at it. What do you think?
Well, I mean,
You ain't know I had that Willie Pep thing until I saw your face.
no, well, I mean, Floyd's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but Ali
Talk to him.
has charisma.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: where here's a guy who made everything he did, he perfected. But all the stuff that he perfected was wrong. Dropping your hands, moving around with your hands out. But he perfected it. He had great
Reflexes, yeah.
And so everybody wanted to be Muhammad Ali. But
Including Floyd, probably. Including
Floyd, yeah. So I wouldn't say. I mean, he has the right to say whatever he want to say
This
about
is
it.
true.
So I'm like, and I get, but I look at it like this here: the fighters before Ali probably say the same thing about him.
Jack Johnson, all those guys.
How can he say he's the greatest?
Because when he said it, everybody had a problem with that. It wasn't until he got a little older
right.
and he wasn't a threat to society. Now he's recognized as the best.
Right.
And that's the part I don't like. Left Phil, you had a question?
So real quick, we're gonna stay on Mayweather right here. He's obviously this is supposed to be his last fight, and he's fighting Barreto. Who you'd like to see him fight? A lot of people don't like the opposition for this, especially for his last fight. Who you think?
I mean, but there's no fighters right now. I mean, guys that.
What about Amir Khan crying for the fight? He was crying for the fight a lot.
I don't think much of Amir Khan.
Oh, good.
But I think
is there anybody that you'd rather see him fight?
Damn, Khan.
What about the Pacquiao rematch? Do you even want to see that? No.
Okay.
No, you don't wanna see
what
that?
about Danny Garcia? No. Damn it! We gonna get him to say somebody. Now, does he take the risk and go up to 154 at a catchweight with Triple G, or?
See, I would like to see, that would be a hell of a fight. Because now he's got to really, really run.
Come on, man. See, you were a pure boxer,
Right.
and when you would slip, and that's not running. You're fighting a boxer's fight.
Right.
So I just disagree that that's running. Hit me, make me change. Like what I like about him, he makes people adapt to his style.
Oh, that he does.
Yeah. So if you know he's a runner, and Pacquiao's supposed to be this guy that traps off the ring, trap him off. That's the first shot on the locker room without even saying something.
Mark is not feeling your argument right now,
But
man.
but my thing, you got to take a chance.
Whoa. Why? Why fix something that's not broke? Why can't the opponent take a chance?
He's taking chances.
And they're missing. And that's why their percentage goes down when they fight him. Just my opinion.
I agree. I agree with you, but I agree with Mark. My thing is, you can fight that way like Floyd is fighting, but how can you put yourself over Ali, who did what you did, but also took chances? Like, I just think.
You know what that chance got him?
Yeah.
That left hook.
But
by,
you know that
by Joe
chance.
Louis.
You know what that chance
Right
also
on
got
his
him?
ass.
It got him rope-a-dope and George Foreman into retirement. So when you gonna say something like he stood up on the ropes and just took punches, you never been in a ring with no beast like a George Foreman. Never.
You know, see, a good hitter change your mind.
Hit him. So hit him. That's what hit him. Mosley hit him. Zab hit him. Brooklyn's own Zab hit him.
But Mosley hit him, but he was so surprised that he hit him. Nothing he could do. He didn't do it. He just looked at him.
It's like, yo, I hit you.
You know, he doesn't have the greatest chin.
Who, Floyd?
Yeah, Floyd. Yeah.
He's never been dropped.
But he's
though.
never been hit.
Yeah. Speaking of Shane
Good point.
Mosley, you trained Vernon Forrest also, right?
Yeah.
He, if I'm not mistaken, he was the first guy to beat Shane Mosley.
Beat him twice, right?
Twice.
Beat him twice. What was the game plan going into that fight, and how confident were you going into that fight? Because Sugar Shane was that dude at the time, and for Vernon Forrest to beat him was very, very surprising and impressive at the same time. So, what was the whole game plan going into that whole situation to beat
Well,
Sugar Shane?
at the time, I wasn't training him
Right.
at that time, but I spoke to him, and it was a thing of where the whole plan was that for jab, because Shane, when he started moving his hands a certain way, he starts to punch. I said, just
Yeah, that little jittery
right,
jab
right,
thing,
right.
yeah.
I said, so if you jab him, he's got to start all over again.
Exactly.
And so he basically beat him with a jab until he caught him.
And that's what I think you're training. Once Deontay get that jab down, it's lights out.
Yeah, I mean the
It's
thing
lights out.
with Deontay, with his last fight, I really didn't like the fight, but an ugly win is better than a pretty loss.
That's right.
But my thing was like, if you hurting him with the jab, and everybody know about your right hand.
Right. That's the
So
same
he's trying to
answer.
get away from the right hand. Now you drop him with a hook. And just keep jabbing, because he don't know what's coming next.
I was so frustrated. That's the same thing. I was like, jab, get in there, and then just set him up for the right hand.
Right.
Now, is he ready? Is he ready for Klitschko?
No, not yet.
Who's the next fight you have coming up with him?
They named some guys. I forgot the guy's name.
It's crazy.
but,
You know you got a bad man when you don't even know the opponent. Yeah.
Once they find out who the opponent is, then I'll look at tapes and stuff like that. And
With the emergence of UFC, and, boxing, Floyd could, when he leaves, not to bring up Floyd again, when he leaves, boxing's still looking for that next superstar. What do you think boxing needs to do, other than, of course, Al Heyman got everybody fighting on regular TV? What do you think they need to, what's missing? What do you think is missing from boxing right now?
boxing, I think just the notoriety. I mean, just getting back out there
Right.
where people see it. Because I guess a lot of people tired of paying for something that's
Exactly.
that's paying all this money for fights that are not big fights like they're supposed to be.
And one of my last questions. Speaking of, you're a gold medalist. You're a boxer. Those are my favorite type of fighters. Boxers, Pernell, Floyd. Andre Ward is one of my favorite fighters. How do you feel about him?
Good fighter.
Damn, you tough, man.
Oh, man, that's a former champion right there, man.
I like Ward. I mean, he's a good boxer. He's a good boxer. He take chances.
Some say he doesn't. Some say they actually say he doesn't. He's boring, quote unquote.
Borderline. He can be, but he gets the job done.
Okay. Anybody got any other thing for him? No. Mark, man, I deeply appreciate you coming to the show, man. You're welcome anytime. Anytime you want to come up, you know the number.
Thank you.
All right, man. Everybody give it up for Mark Breland.
Thanks for coming out, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, before we wrap out, we're gonna do our fire off. Who wants to go first?
I'll hold it down.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Fire off.
For all my Mets fans out there, y'all keep your heads up. Listen, we got a couple of bats, and Kelly Johnson, Uribe from the Atlanta Braves. It's going to be a big improvement. We just got to stay close to the Washington Nationals and, vie for that wild card. All right.
Fire off.
It's the Baseball Hall of Fame weekend, man, and I want to shout out to the four dudes who's making up Baseball Hall of Fame. That's Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, John Smoltz, and Craig Biggio. But get my man Barry Bonds in that Hall of Fame,
Here
all
we
right?
go.
That is my guy. We was talking about the 4 guys earlier, Bryce Harper, A-Rod, the other 2 guys. I'm taking Barry Bonds over all of them. It's my favorite hitter of all time, him and Kirby Puckett, but I would take those guys over Kirby. That's just personal. But Barry Bonds needs to be in that Hall of Fame. Steroids, no roids. I mean, A-Rod hit 3 home runs last night with his new vitamins. Who knows? Get Barry Bonds in that Hall of Fame.
Fire off. I gotta fire off, man. I usually don't fire off, but listen, man. I used to say my prayers, eat my vitamins. I wanted 24-inch pythons. I was what you call a Hulkamaniac. Come to find out, this guy's running around dropping the N-bomb everywhere. He don't want this girl being around black sausage. I don't like that. And I definitely got a problem with WWE. You knew he said these racial slurs 3 years ago, and you stuck by him. Now, once it gets out, you wanna stay away from him, separate yourself from him, kill yourself. Everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.